April 2nd, 2018. We had about an inch or inch and a half, maybe two, of snow, and the sun's popping out, and it's all pretty much immediately melting off the roofs. Pretty cool to see it just melt and let go. Well, I just thought I'd throw this quick clip in here. The garlic is really starting to take off out here, and I just wanted to share it. It looks beautiful with that dark green against the brown leaf background in the rain. Just thought I'd show a quick clip. Very good germination success, by the way. Good survival rate on all of these. So that mulch layer was ideal. Kept us through quite the winter. Just a quick update. April 3rd, 2018. Well, it's about 42 degrees and raining out. It's quite damp and nasty. So I started the greenhouse furnace up a little early today, and we're sitting around 70 degrees in here, I think. Might be warmer than that even. Yeah, well, that says 64, but I think it's more like 70 average. I don't think that's caught up to the stove yet. Anyway, been in here working. Didn't get out here till later this afternoon. The regular job keeps me pretty busy in the daytime, but got the rest of the shelves in here, got this space cleared off. Now we're ready to lay out some trays, and I brought in, a friend of mine gave me this nice potting soil workstation for filling trays and pots and that kind of thing. So brought that in, and it's set up basically so we can just slide our trays underneath there and sprinkle our soil down through the grate right out of the bag into the trays, and slide them right up onto the shelf and go ahead and plant them. So thanks, Steve, for that. Much appreciated. That's a nice little addition to the greenhouse. Been eyeing that for about 6 months, thinking about how I was going to fit it in here. And now we finally have the room. What else? I wanted to show, I took cuts of the large cherry tomatoes here last week. I guess I'll give a quick clip of those. Where did I see tomatoes on these? Yeah, see tomatoes coming on here, right there, up top already, and more flower setting and more fruit setting all the way up, since I gave them a good feed of Accelerate and Micro Pack and a good watering. I also sprinkled a little bit of alfalfa meal that I had extra just down on top of the soil so it can work its way in slowly and not mess with the balance too much. There's some larger tomatoes down here that'll be ripening sometime fairly soon, I would think, especially now that the plant has been fed and it's starting to take off. I just wanted to show, these were about here the other day when I clipped them up, and they've actually extended themselves over, and you can see they're reaching right up to the plastic at the top of the greenhouse. So we should have cherry tomato production starting, I would say, probably early May at some reasonable scale. And anyway, I took cuttings off of these when I did some pruning. I said, well, I'll probably make cuttings later, and I just tossed them in the in one of the thermal mass tanks here, the one that is not as hot as the others. So this is sitting about probably about 60-65 degrees, and so they rooted all on their own for me without doing anything to them. I just tossed them in here, like I said. So what I'll do now is go through and cut sections of these out, and I have rooted large cherry tomato plants, and I will probably put those into some kind of pot, probably air pots, I'm thinking. I have a bunch of air pots here, so I think I'm going to pot some of these up into air pots. If you're not familiar with air pots, maybe I'll do a video on air pots. In fact, I think I will, because they're a very nice pot for starting transplant plants. They use what's called air pruning on the roots, and it basically at the edge of the pot there's little air hole inlets, and it basically makes the plant prune the end of the roots. And when it prunes the end of the roots, that goes back and it makes the trunk of each of those root branches coming out grow stronger and bigger and put out more root hairs, so that when you finally do transplant it, they just take off into the ground. They're really handy. They're a little bit trickier to manage watering wise, but now that we have the greenhouse temperatures regulated well, that won't be a concern. So I guess I'll do a video on those. But I just wanted to share how quickly those rooted. That's probably 6 or 7 days ago. Yeah, so about a week. And some of those root hairs are, you know, even 4 inches long already. So that's nice. We'll have lots of cherry tomatoes, and I'm sure I'll take a lot more cuttings of those since they're so far ahead. I also have some seeds I got to start from some of the big beefsteaks and other varieties that I want to carry from last year. So that's that. And I also wanted to show this aloe vera plant is throwing out a flower, I believe. In fact, it looks like it's just getting ready to open. I've been watching this for about a week and a half, well, maybe more like 2 weeks now. I noticed it the one night when I was getting ready to move the plant. And yeah, I don't know, I've never seen one of these flower before, so this is a new experience for me. You can see there's another one coming on there, right there. And I haven't looked, but there's probably more hiding in the cluster. The green, the big wider green leaves you see down below, those are potatoes that I just stuck in this planter full of soil back in the fall. I grew them out a little bit over the winter, and then when the light dwindled, they kind of died back. So I just put the aloe on top of them, and I've been watering that occasionally. And obviously they've continued to survive underneath there, so we'll see. Might transplant those out in a couple of weeks. So anyway, I thought that was really interesting. We'll keep an eye on it, and if this opens into a flower, I'll make sure to catch it on video for you. I think that's everything for now. The last video I did, I think, in the greenhouse was on the new vents, so wish you guys know about those. I think that's it for now. Just wanted to do a little update and a quick tour, and maybe I'll take another clip when I get some trays laid out and some soil in them. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network.